So spring is here, May is upon us, and I'm planning to read a classic, some sci-fi, some fantasy, some women's prize for fiction literature, and we've got my first ever buddy read as a booktuber. Hi, my name's Matt and welcome to the channel. So we're going to start off with a book that's going to carry on from April, and that is The Last Continent, which I'm not going to be able to finish in April. It's another Discworld novel. It's the sixth novel of the Rincewind or Wizards thread. I'm not quite sure where it falls. Like the 22nd book in publication wise. Not sure. I'll put it here somewhere. I'm enjoying the Rincewind journey. He's always running away from something and ends up running into something. This time we are not in Australia, but it is rather Australian. It is a Discworld. It's amusing. I'm getting through it, but it'll be finished hopefully early May, and then we are going to make a change. We're going to move away from the Wizards for a moment, and we're going to pick up with death. I know spring is about life and, you know, everything's spring into life, but we're going to go for death. And this is because I've got my friend Sid from Storytime with Sid, and this is going to be our buddy read for May. She wants to read some more Discworld, and I'm delighted to be picking up some different thread within the Discworld novels, and death is a classic Discworld character, and it is always joyful to read about death. Yeah, I suppose that's the correct phrase. It is Terry Pratchett. It's joyful to read about death. So this is Mort. It is the first death novel, I think I've said, and the fourth publication novel within Discworld. I think it's the fourth one. Mort is someone who becomes the Death's Apprentice, effectively, and that is him coming to terms with his responsibilities of that role. So yeah, it should be a really entertaining reread for myself, and hopefully Sid will enjoy it as well, but we will see. So that is the second one for the month. Then we've got a couple of women's prize for fiction books that I'm looking to read. We've got one coming from the library, which is Glory by No Violet Bulawayo. I'll put a cover here because I haven't got it yet, but it should be coming early this month. This book is about the 2017 coup in Zimbabwe, where Robert Mugabe was overthrown. The characters are animals, so it's told through their animal perspective. So you've got like Old Horse, who I think is the character who's overthrown, so the Mugabe character. The description has given me very much Animal Farm vibes, which is no great surprise because obviously that's the politics of Stalinism and communism portrayed through animals, and it's an excellent book that I'm hoping this is, as good. I've heard mixed things. Obviously, this was long-listed for the Women's Prize for Fiction. Didn't make the shortlist, but from looking at some of the other booktubers, there seems to be mixed opinions on it. So I know, I think Eric from Lonesome Reader, he really liked this one and thought it would be shortlisted, or certainly on his six to be shortlisted. Then you had, I think, Nicole from Dusty Book Sniffers, who I think enjoyed it, but it wasn't in her top 6, but she thought it might be shortlisted. And then the other end, you had Kit, the reader, who didn't finish this book, didn't get on with it and DNF'd it. So we've got a range of views there, so it'll be interesting to see what I think of it. But I'm looking forward to this one. So we've got that one, Glory, and then we've got another previous prize winner. So if you've watched my Q1 wrap-up, you know I read Piranesi by Susanna Clarke, which is probably my favourite book of the year so far. Yeah, I would say so, which won the Women's Prize for Fiction in 2020, maybe 2021, I think 2020. But I've picked up the prize winner from 2017, which is The Power by Naomi Alderman. So this is where, basically all over the world, women suddenly have the power to inflict pain and even death on men. And it's that, from what I gather, the sudden power balance shift where suddenly men lose control and women have the power. So that should be an interesting one. Obviously very highly regarded. As I say, it won the Women's Prize for Fiction in 2017. So I'm looking forward to that. That should be a good read. Then we move on to some sci-fi. I'm going to read Dune Messiah. I read Dune, I think it was last year. Pretty sure it was last year. early last year, and thoroughly enjoyed it. It's a great read. I personally really enjoyed June, but I haven't picked up the sequels yet. I decided to pick this up now because I saw Zara from Books with Zara do her non-spoiler review of this, and she thoroughly enjoyed it. So I was like, well, let's give it a shot. Let's see if it's as good as the first one or not. So this is set 12 years later than this one. I don't want to say too much about it at the moment because if you haven't read the first one, then it will give some things away. But it's set 12 years later, and I'm really looking forward to picking this up. It's quite a short one compared to the June, probably half the size of the original June. So should be a reasonably quick read. But I'm looking forward to that. And then we have something completely different. We have a classic read. So I've got The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. I've only ever read one thing by Oscar Wilde, as far as I'm aware, which is The Importance of Being Earnest, which is hilarious and is great fun. I think this is quite different. I was looking at classics that people recommend as sort of how to get books, wants to get into classics and reading classics, and this is when it seems to come on top of a lot of people's lists. I know a little bit about it, but not a huge amount, but it should be a fascinating read, and Oscar Wilde, as I've read one thing by him and thoroughly enjoyed it, so hopefully we'll get some more excellent entertainment from this one. And then finally, we've got a non-fiction book, which will be an audio book, Born to Run. I'll put the cover up here again. So this is about how humans are born to run. Now, I'm quite interested into this. I'm quite a keen runner myself. I'm actually scheduled to take part in the Chicago Marathon this year in October, and the Great North Run just prior to that in September. So really looking forward to that. But unfortunately, last month, my running has been almost non-existent, if I'm honest. So the motivation has been really low for running. I'm hoping by reading this book, it'll give me a bit of a jolt, get me back into running, get back into training, and get me ready for these the big races I've got at the end of the year. I say races, I'm not fast. I'm a participant, I'm not a racer. So I'm reading that to give me some more motivation. So it'll be interesting to see what it has to say on running and human body and how running supports and we're built to do that activity. So that is my reading plans for the month. Pick them up so you can see them. So that's my reading plans for the month. As I say, I've got one more book to come, and then we've got one audio book as well. No, it's not. It's for me that should be achievable. That's famous last words, isn't it? Should be achievable. We'll see how we get on. As I say, there's plenty of variety there, plenty of entertainment. So I'm really looking forward to May. So let me know what you're reading in May, and I will see you again soon. Bye.